They're cooking up something big without a shadow of a doubt. You got to look at all the activity that's going on in certain regions. Did you see yesterday's video? Now we have this, but we got to put a few things together. Now, number one, keep in mind, in the UK, you have Quant, Q&T, the company Quant running wild. But wait, what is their main product? Their main product is Overledger. What do they have Overledger for? Don't worry about it. It's all connected to the XRP run that is to come. They have Overledger for XRP. Wait a minute. You're saying, Mick, what are you talking about? Quant, Overledger, XRP. This is not for no reason. This article was titled, Ripple CEO mentions XRP for the first time on BBC. Wait a minute. Why would this be the first time he mentioned XRP on BBC? Why the time? Why right now? We know why right now. Because we're so close to being unleashed. He wants the people to he's continuously letting the people know he's optimistic about XRP. He's bullish on XRP, and XRP is the best thing around. He wants the people to know. It says Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse takes to top UK media outlet BBC to express optimism about XRP's future and the potential impact of a lot of the political things going on around the world. There's a lot of favorable things, especially with policies changing, etc. Now, wait, let's go back to the quant thing. All of these companies stay in contact with each other. Remember, Ripple has a relationship with Flare for what they're trying to do. Ripple has a relationship with Quant. That's why Quant has the whole Overledger for XRP. I think they also have it for Zenfin. And Quant is getting close to that time where there's going to be a lot of their projects rolling out. That's why we've been hearing a lot about the UK CBDCs and digital asset testing that they've been doing over the last few months. We're getting very close to that point we all wanted to arrive at. Now it says, in a startling development, look how they phrase it, because see, most won't understand why this is going on. And when XRP explodes, they won't see it coming. That's why they're saying it. They're phrasing it as a startling development. The Ripple CEO joined BBC, a top UK media outlet, to discuss XRP for the first time on the platform. Before the interview commenced, the BBC interviewer provided insights into XRP-related developments. That's major. How often do you get one of these giant mainstream media companies talking about XRP? So I don't know how many viewers they got on that night. Maybe somebody can look into that. That's a lot more new people that know about XRP. So you tell me what's changing. It says here, I don't know why it's like an ad popped up and it made the website scroll down. Provided insights into XRP related developments ranging from its prospect for a spot ETF and involvement in the SEC versus Ripple lawsuit. Notice something though. Now, I don't know if they're leaving something out here. Notice how they're easing XRP in. These topics are light, but they're not telling the people about interbank payments. They're not telling the people about B2B payments. They're not telling the people about RWA tokenization. They're not talking about payroll. They're not talking about all these big pools of cash, of value, rather, that XRP can tap into. They don't want the people too bullish, but they want XRP in their psyche a little bit, in their mind, just a little bit. They're starting off slow. Same thing they're doing with Bitcoin, just a wee bit faster, right? But wait, now let's go here. And I say that because remember, they had the whole Bitcoin is bad for so long that people still to this day don't like Bitcoin because of that. They think Bitcoin is some sort of bad thing. I'll just put it that way. But now they're starting to trickle in. Oh, Bitcoin is good. You know, BlackRock has Bitcoin. All these companies have Bitcoin. Maybe you should get something. They're starting to condition the minds to be more positive on crypto overall, right? So we have that development. Then we have this article here. There is a lot going on right now. So this article is titled, Ripple Labs could be exploring the launch of a dirham-backed stablecoin in the United Arab Emirates, expanding beyond its existing US dollar-backed stablecoin RLUSD. This speculation arises following Ripple's newest blog post dated November 7th, 2024, titled, quote, UAE stablecoin regulation, a blueprint for financial innovation, unquote. The post hints at a significant interest in Ripple in a dirham-backed stablecoin. And I said this before, because you have all this fragmentation, because all of these countries want their own, they want their own control over the flow of value. They don't want to use foreign currencies, not really. That they will be backing these stable coins with different things. Some will back it with gold. Some may back it with their own, local fiat currency. Some may back it with oil. We already saw that test happen. That was about 3 years ago in Latin America. They tested that, backing a digital currency with oil. Whatever they have that's of power, value, they can back that stable coin with it, So I think these are the big, possibly, we'll keep an eye on this, are the beginnings of that. Now, what's positive for XRP and Ripple about this is, it's if you keep them happy, this is a doorway to more capital coming into the XRPL, into RippleNet, to more institutions needing XRPL based wallets, which means they have to hold a little bit of XRP just to have that account or wallet. It's a doorway into many, many things, Ripple products. And then if they're happy with that, of course, the best of the best that they have to offer is XRP based products. So this could be huge. They want to keep these people happy. Let's continue here. It says, will Ripple launch a dirham stablecoin? The blog post outlines the UAE central bank's newly introduced regulatory framework designed to integrate both dirham-backed and non-AED stablecoins into the nation's financial systems. Quote, new regulations from Central Bank of the United Arab Emirates designed to integrate dirham-backed stablecoins as well as non-AED-backed stablecoins into its financial systems are emblematic of this shift, unquote, the Ripple team states. The CBUAE's framework aims to bolster the UAE's standing as a global leader in digital asset regulation by providing clear guidelines that facilitate the issuance and use of AED-backed stablecoins for payments, while allowing non-dirham stablecoins to be registered for virtual asset transactions. Quote, by embracing stablecoins, the UAE is laying the groundwork for safer, more efficient financial systems, unquote. The Ripple blog emphasizes. Notice how they're at key points around the world: United States, UK, the MENA region, China. We've even heard Russia has some dealings in thinking about utilizing XRP. There's been some documentation floating around about that. Australia, Latin America, absolute global dominance. Absolute global dominance. So now let's move on here, because we have to keep up with what's going on with the banks. All right. And I told you they've been in a lot of trouble this year legally. And it seems that these things have not changed. I don't know why they don't want to remedy these situations, because they definitely can. But this article is titled Bank of America Bracing for $800 million Loss. That's not the worst of it. As investigators probe Bank of America, JP Morgan Chase, Wells Fargo, alleged refusal to reimburse customers. Remember, we covered this. It wasn't going to go away. And once more, we have a lot of news outlets reporting on this. This is going to cause the banks to lose more people, more deposit flight. And that's going to drive the people towards, I would think, over time, towards a mentality of self-custodying more value. They don't have to custody everything. But a lot of that value, I believe, once you have these wallets come out, they're not going to be said to be crypto or blockchain wallets, just that you can custody your own value. I'm sure they're going to have a different way to sell it to the people. And the people will go for it. And they will custody a lot of their own value. They will stake it. They will delegate it. And it may be offered through some legacy system entities, whether they are, NBFIs or otherwise. And that's going to change everything. That will bring them to the new financial system. That will bring a lot of new value to be locked up in the new financial system, and the people won't even know it. The second largest U.S. bank by total assets says it's preparing for significant losses due to ongoing regulatory issues. In a new filing with the U.S. Securities Exchange Commission, Bank of America says it faces a, quote, reasonably possible and estimable, quote, loss of up to $800 billion due to investigations from the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, CFPB, and other federal regulators. There's multiple on their tails. These banks are in a lot of big trouble. I'm gonna tell you right now. Did you see what happened a few months back with TD Bank? That was unbelievable. If you don't know, type in something on Google like TD Bank controversy 2024. You'll see what I'm talking about. You'll be flabbergasted. It's unbelievable. Quote, the corporation has been responding to an inquiry from the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau regarding the corporation's processing of electronic payments of funds through the Zelle network. I told you these. Now, this is what the Bank of International Settlements considers e-money, electric money systems. Now, when they say digital systems, they have clearly distinguished that digital is of the distributed ledger technologies. All right. The CFPB staff has initiated discussions with the corporation to pursue a resolution of the inquiry or file an enforcement action. The corporation is evaluating next steps, including litigation, unquote. Like I said, it's not the money that's the bigger problem. It's their reputations going into the ground. A lot of media is covering this. Customers are hearing this. They're losing customers. They're losing power. And that's going to make them more desperate. And as they become more desperate, it brings them further and further into the negotiation table with the new financial system. They're going to need more and more of the mechanisms that the new financial system offers in order for these entities to survive into the future. And we have multiples of reputable individuals tell us that very same thing. So now we're going to move on here to a little bit of Bitcoin news. All right. I hope you all having a really, really good Saturday. So now this article here is titled Bitcoin pundits wary after, quote, spoof city, unquote, sours Bitcoin price gains at $77,000. I'm not worried about Bitcoin right now at all. The future looks very bright to me. Despite any volatilities, despite any small stagnation, the future is extremely bright. Bitcoin is, quote, acting weird, unquote, one commentator argues as Bitcoin price gains fail to capitalize on incremental new all-time highs. Bitcoin preserved $76,000 into November the 9th as, quote, spoof city kept Bitcoin price action pinned in a narrow range. Data from Cointelegraph Markets Pro and TradingView captured familiar trading conditions for BTC/USD, heavy volume and new all-time highs. The latest record came in at $77,270 on Bitstamp, but was short-lived. Liquidity was shifting around exchange order books, leading observers suspicious. I think they meant leaving observers suspicious. Quote, spoof city again today, unquote. Popular trader Skew responded in a post on X. Skew referred to the practice of order book, quote, spoofing, unquote, large bands of liquidity placed at a given level only to be thinned out or removed completely after price reacts. Such behaviors is common in crypto, but banned on legacy markets. Elsewhere, trading resource material indicators pinpointed a moment when one or more whale entities attempted to break through BTC price resistance with major buying on largest global exchange Binance. So now this article here is titled Bitcoin will surpass $250,000. We've heard this from other sources. As you can see, a lot of big entities, a lot of people continue to be very bullish on Bitcoin. All the positive catalysts are there. Says analyst plan B. Here's the timeline. All right. It says here, popular quant analyst plan B says Bitcoin is now set up to have a series of big rallies based on historic precedents. In a video update, the pseudonymous analyst tells his YouTube subscribers that his stock to flow model indicates Bitcoin could exceed $250,000 in coming years. His stock to flow model, which was traditionally used for traditional commodities before he adapted it to Bitcoin, predicts the performance of an asset based on the idea that the price increases as the asset becomes more scarce. Historically, Plan B's S2F model has signaled the beginning of strong bull runs immediately after the halving, when miners' rewards are cut in half with the printing of a red dot. Quote, Bitcoin closed October at $70,000, and right now, a couple of days after the election, is already at $76,000, a new all-time high. So basically, we broke the month-long trading range where Bitcoin moved between $60,000 to $70,000. If history is any guide, if the stock-to-flow model is any guide, then we'll see sharp price increases from here. The red dots will continue. I agree with that, but I agree with that based on all of the various companies that are still positioning themselves in Bitcoin. Every time there was a dip, we saw companies, this is what they've reported from all the entities that track that there were big companies buying Bitcoin, right? And a lot of weird Bitcoin activity that suggests that other companies that didn't want to be known just yet were buying via proxy. I think that that's pretty clear. In my humble opinion, that's what that data told. And yeah, so because of that price is going to skyrocket at some point. How high? I don't know. But I just know it hasn't even come to the point yet where the average person starts getting into Bitcoin. When you see that, then you know it's time. When you hear the average person and the average energy out there is positive on Bitcoin, even though the conditioning over the years has been very negative to Bitcoin, then you know it's almost time for that true bull run to begin. And we haven't seen that just yet. I think first the companies continue to get in position. You're going to see some pretty delicious price action. I think $85,000 out of the question. I said that a long time ago. But that's just a starting point. As of now, that's what it looks like. 85,000 around that range, $80,000, $85,000. I think is just a starting point. That's when that engine is really starting to build up. Then when you see let me continue on here. So I want to move on to this. I don't want to run the time down too much. This article here is titled Ethereum rival Solana in all-time high, quote, waiting room, unquote, says crypto analyst. Here's his outlook. The widely followed analyst and trader is leaning bullish on a large cap altcoin amid broader crypto market rally. The analyst, pseudonymously known as Pentoshi, tells his followers on social media platform X that Solana is in the, quote, all-time high waiting room. Yeah, I'm very bullish on Solana. You know that already. Let's scroll down here. On the weekly time frame, Pentoshi shares a chart suggesting that Solana has formed a double bottom pattern, a technical analysis structure that's typically considered bullish as buyers step in to keep an asset from printing new lows. According to the widely followed analyst, Solana is on the cusp of taking out its resistance at around $204, which has kept Sol bearish since 2022. Quote, while there could be some short-term resistance ahead, I don't expect it to last long. Structurally, this looks great, and in my opinion, dips are for buying. It should be challenging all-time highs this month, unquote. The analyst also says his long-term target for Solana is a price around 110% above the current level. Quote, above $200, and it likely sees all-time highs shortly after. Long-term target, $420. Not a cent higher. Solana is trading at $200 at the time of writing, up by around 20% this month. Solana is trading at $200 at the time of writing, up by around 20% this month. Turning to the wider altcoin market, Pentoshi says that Total 3, which tracks total market cap of all crypto assets, excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum and stablecoins, is likely to rise by about 14% from the current level. All right, so now let's move on here. What do we have here? We have a little bit, I think this may be some banking news. Oh, here we go. Listen. All of these legacy system entities have been having a lot of trouble with security. I'm going to tell you that right now. Things are not looking good for them, but this article is titled, Mysterious MasterCard Data Breach Triggers Bank Warning as Customers Urged to, quote, pay close attention, unquote, to money movements. Hey, so if you're involved with a MasterCard, keep a close eye on your activities, the activities taking place on your account. If they have notifications, I'm not sure how that works. But if they have like some sort of notification system, I would activate that so that if anything happens, you know instantly and you can take action on that. It's not advice. I'm just saying. It continues here. A U.S. bank is warning customers of a security, quote, intrusion, unquote, that may have compromised MasterCard account numbers and other financial data. Maryland-based Eagle Bank says it has received a notice from MasterCard stating an unnamed U.S. merchant allowed unauthorized access to account information between August 15th, 2023 and May 25th, 2024. What? And you're just now talking about this? What in the world? So what can the people really do now? The information is out there. I never understand why they don't act a little bit faster. Is it just legality? Lawyers and such just telling them, hey, wait, I don't know. But for whoever's information is out there, it's out there now. Too late to stop anything. Anyway, the bank revealed the breach in a filing with the Massachusetts state government. Quote, we have been advised by MasterCard of a security breach of a United States merchants network. Your MasterCard debit card data was among those records that may have been exposed. The intrusion, was it or was it not? If you know there was an intrusion and you know some stuff was exposed, you either know it for certain that this individual or certain individual's information was exposed or you don't. Once again, is it the legality that's making them stay murky? I would think it is, right? But the customers shouldn't need to know. And I say this is how I feel. If a company's like this, I don't want to deal with them. I'm telling you now. You know, you're supposed to protect my information. You want my business, protect my information. Once again, that's why the new financial system is going to thrive. You are in charge of your own data. You are in charge of your own security. And I know they want to simplify things. They're like, well, they want to, there's too many letters on the identification numbers and such, account numbers. And there's so many things, so many different words and numbers for the, what do they call those things? The keys, whatever. I want as much as possible. I want my thing like Fort Knox. I want it unbreakable. Just don't forget the information. If not, if you oversimplify everything, you're going to have stuff like this. You're going to have problems like the legacy system is having right now. But right now, new financial system dominates them when it comes to security. It says here, the intrusion allowed MasterCard account numbers and account details to be possibly compromised and in the possession of unauthorized individuals. The event in no way compromised the security in force at Eagle Bank or had any direct impact upon your account records on a file at our institution. Are you sure about that? Eagle Bank is encouraging customers to, quote, pay close attention, unquote, to their monthly checking account statements. Wait, you just said, wait a minute. The intrusion okay. The event in no way compromised the security in force at Eagle Bank or had any direct impact upon your account records. But then it says Eagle Bank is encouraging customers to pay close attention to their monthly checking account statements So, I mean, which one is it? Am I just losing it here? Either your accounts were compromised, you're compromised, or you're not. I don't know. I think this is what the elders used to call talking out both sides of your mouth. If you ever heard that verbiage, that's when you're saying two different things. There's a lot of hypocrisy in there. You're openly showing a dichotomy, right? All right. So now let's move on from there, folks. Okay. Listen, I'm trying to understand these things just like you are. All right. We deal with a lot of madness in the financial industry, don't we? So now this article here is titled Gold Price. Get this, folks. Listen to this. Gold price has room to hit $8,000 in this bull cycle as Fed deals with next crisis. This is coming from Brian London. What in the world? 8,000? Don't get me wrong. I love gold. 8,000? The Federal Reserve's money management will trigger the next crisis and force the U.S. central bank to embrace zero or even negative interest rates. Warned Brian London, editor of Gold Newsletter and CEO of New Orleans Investment Conference. Wow. That's a pretty bold statement, and it definitely is possible. I can see how they could mess things up for sure. Quote, the Fed's management of the price of money is going to create the next crisis. And when that happens, they are going to be forced to get back to zero interest rates, unquote. London told Kitco News anchor Jeremy Zaffron. Let's scroll down here. London noted that the Fed decision to cut rates by 25 basis points this week, following a 50 basis point cut in September, is just the start of a longer rate cutting cycle driven by the unsustainable cost of servicing the national debt. Quote, successive rate cuts are baked into the cake because of the tremendous cost of servicing the federal debt at these interest rate levels. The debt rate tsunami on a corporate level, we're going to see a lot of debt resets coming up in the months just ahead, unquote, he said. Quote, companies had trouble paying and servicing those debts in a zero interest rate environment. They will find it nearly impossible to service those debts at current interest rates. The Fed really has to get rates down. The longer it waits, the more urgently it will have to do so at some point. The U.S. economy might even need negative interest rates to deal with the next crisis. Quote, my longer term picture view is that we have to have negative real rates with debt loads this high. The cost of servicing that debt needs to be lower than the rate that the currency is depreciating. Whoa, this person knows their stuff. Otherwise, the entire house of cards collapses, unquote, London pointed out. London forecasts gold hitting the range of $6,000 to $8,000 within this bull market cycle, basing his calculation on previous historical trading patterns. Oh, wow. That's some powerful stuff. You guys tell me, you agree with that? You believe that? You think that it's possible to hit an $8,000 gold price? 6,000, he said 6,000 also. $6,000? I don't know. Listen, I don't know. That would be amazing. I'm telling you right now. Well, I'm not moving my gold anytime soon. We bought super low. We're looking really, really good right now. There's no reason for me to move my gold. But hey, if it happens, I guess I'll see. But wow. All right. So now that you have the information, what are you going to do with it? I know what I'm going to do with it. So until next time, everybody, let's get to the money.